Hello. Welcome to the 31st episode of the Sanibel Captiva Guide podcast. Please join me in welcoming Josh from Adventures in Paradise. Thanks for joining us, Josh.
Yeah.
You might have seen Josh around on the island, or if you're in any of the Facebook groups or pages. Josh started a really cool thing during COVID when all the businesses were closed down and struggling. Josh's family business is a business called Adventures in Paradise, which I'm sure he'll tell you a lot about, which is basically a lot of boat tours and everything, which we've got to talk about and check out later. But as a goodwill gesture, Josh was going around the islands, visiting the smaller businesses and giving them a shout out. Noble cause, and that was awesome. And he has this thing called Drinks with Josh, and he does it live.
Where is our drink? Did you bring us a drink?
I don't know. Usually they bring me a drink. That's half the reason
we were supposed to bring you.
We were supposed to provide the drink.
Gotcha.
Oh, so you get drinks. Oh, that's why I say do it for drinks.
Yeah.
That's it. There we
Drinks,
go.
good food. That kind
So
of
how did you get it started? What prompted it?
Well, initially we started it because everything shut down for COVID, and we started our online store, and we had a Facebook page, and so I would go on there every now and then because we weren't open, and I was like, well, here's your store, let me show everybody. And then from there I was like, well, everybody else is shut down, wouldn't it be kind of cool to start going around and keeping the little local Sanibel businesses and everybody's in their mind. And during COVID, everybody was at home sitting
on their
on
phones.
Facebook.
Right. That's true.
all the time.
Right.
So I think the first person we interviewed was Callie over at Bailey's
General
and
Store.
she was doing virtual wine tastings at the time.
That's
And
right.
I was like, oh, it'd be cool to
highlight
so come
her.
over. And then so we would bike around the island and show everybody like, oh, this is what Sanibel looks like when you're not here. And then we went back to the store, did the wine tasting, and then after that we just kind of started reaching out to everybody. And then before you know it, they started reaching out to us, and we created like a nice little following. But I think one of the coolest things that came from that was a greater, stronger sense of community for Sanibel, especially like the small businesses that we have around here. Because my whole thing is like if the island does well, everybody's going to do well.
We agree.
We totally agree, and that was very much the reason we started doing what we were doing with the Sanibel Captiva Guide. And it was noticed what you were doing. It was absolutely fantastic, and I know the businesses appreciate it. And definitely check it out. It's Drinks with Josh. And it's on where would they find it?
So you find it on our AIP Outfitters Facebook page. So the Adventures in Paradise Facebook page, and right now we're doing every Wednesday at 8:15.
8:15, and it's live, so
It's
make
live,
sure you check
tune
it
in.
out.
Yeah,
And
it's live,
even if
so-
you missed the live, you can go back on the page and watch the...
Yeah, it'll still show up in feeds and stuff like that, and you can always click on it. We always ask everybody to share it as far as you can to get it out so as many people see it. And we did one yesterday with Jeremy and Dylan from
Paper Fig.
Paper Fig.
Yeah, we saw it.
Paper
We watched
Fig
it.
too.
Yeah.
They've got phenomenal food.
Oh, their
Absolutely
food's so
phenomenal. Like I first met
Love
Jeremy. We do some photography for a house called Sea Oats on Captiva, and he was catering for a huge family that was there. And I was delighted
We
to
were
be
drooling.
able to... We were drooling. Actually, we had some of the food, and it was absolutely fantastic. As a result of that, ended up going into his store at the Paper Fig, and now he's moved on, and he's got the 400 rabbits.
He's
got
making moves, man.
Yeah, 400 rabbits now.
Taking over
Matzalunas, and you were out where last night on the east end of the island. It used to be the East End Deli. He's taken that over, and what's he doing with that?
So the East End Deli, it's basically you got the deli, you got kind of like flavors and a few items like popular items from the Fig that they're going to put there, but then some that they're only doing on the East End. And then in addition to that, you can go use the market. You can go get your beer. I think next week you can get wine from there. And then I think Dave from Sanibel Delivery is also doing baskets.
Oh, really?
It sounds interesting, right? Like pre-made
like
baskets.
a gift basket?
Yeah, like gift baskets.
Or is it like a picnic basket?
You could probably get it almost looks like when you go to like a charity. And they've got
they pack everything in.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's kind of like that. So for instance, if you're staying up north and you want to deliver somebody that's maybe staying in your house or something like
very
that,
cool.
you just call him up,
Right.
and then. So we actually did that. I believe we did that for my mom for her birthday one day, and it was made me look good.
Oh, fantastic.
Be honest, it wasn't you, was it?
Yeah, it was Audrey. Yeah,
Exactly. I know how those things work.
Yes. Yeah, it's funny. It's a teamwork. Teamwork.
Exactly. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think it's great what you're doing, and you've been to many businesses. I understand. I mean, how many episodes has there been now?
I don't know. We did it every week, starting in like June of last year, and then we stopped around June of this year.
Yeah.
And then we'd have like a couple bye weeks, like if there's a holiday, and so I would just stay at the store and hang out there. I don't have a number, but we'll have to go back and look.
We were actually in your store the other week, and if you haven't checked it out, it's in the Tahitian Gardens. So if you look as you face the Tahitian Gardens, look to your far right-hand side, and on the upper level, it's all on the upper level, but on the right-hand side, at the very end store, closest to Periwinkle, is Adventures in Paradise. And we were in there, and if you don't, we always knew what Adventures in Paradise did. They're partly a tour rental place, but go and check it out. Even if you're not interested in a tour, there's an amazing gift shop. Great clothes, great beachwear, really cool
sunglasses,
decor, a really cool basket set up that's actually from a hot air balloon, which I was fascinated with. But tell us a bit about the other stuff that you do, Josh, not just the store. But
so we have the retail store, obviously, but we got our start down here. My parents moved down to Sanibel in 1986.
And where are they from?
My mom's from North Carolina. My dad is from Kansas City, but they kind of lived all over the place after that. And they actually moved. My two brothers were born in Tulsa, and then from there, and my dad actually had like a fine men's suit store. They went on their honeymoon to Tahiti, which is most beautiful place on the planet.
Dream honeymoon.
Right, and so they fell in love with sailing, and they were gonna sail around the world. And they had my oldest brother, and like, all right, we'll wait a little bit, make the boat a little bit bigger, and then my second brother, he was born. And they're like, okay, we'll wait a little bit longer, get a little bit bigger boat.
An arc at this
and then
point.
Sadly, once I came around, then it was like, no, that's not happening.
The dream's not the dream.
Not and they moved to Annapolis. They lived there for a bit.
Which is a huge boating community.
Right. Yeah. So I was born in Annapolis. And then when I was about 8 months old, my dad had come down to St. Petersburg and Florida on business, but then he was also looking to find a place what he thought was as close to like Tahiti as possible. And so he was actually, the ironic part, he was down in Naples, and he was looking, they were like, oh, I'm going to go over to the other coast and look at Miami, or
that's not Tahiti.
No. And a realtor,
definitely not Tahiti.
There's a realtor said, well, you should check out Sanibel. And so he did. And you guys remember when you used to come over the bridge, they had the big pine trees, and he said within 45 minutes,
road.
45 minutes, he knew
this is the place.
This is the place, and he didn't even go back home.
Really?
Yeah. Called mom up on the payphone at the 7-Eleven, and was like, I found it. And
come on down.
Yeah. And then we literally, I want to say we left in February, and we, not we, but my brothers and the babysitter literally dug themselves out of the snow to drive down here.
Wow.
And boom.
And what was the plan? The plan was always to start. Was he going to do a men's store, or what?
No,
how it is today?
Was like the store was in the rear view at that point in time, so they weren't really into that, and they wanted to kind of do Florida things, so sailboats and stuff like that, and started out doing beach rentals. And they had beach rental companies. They had a couple locations. One, they operated at a Cassia Bell, Sanibel Inn, the Sanibel Harbor Resort, which back then was the Sonesta.
Sonesta, yeah.
A couple down in Naples was at the Edgewater, and I think the Registry at the time. I'm not sure what it's called now. And then Key Biscayne. And so he would set up those, and then we got the first tour
boat. Would rent boats and...
No, they do like beach
rentals,
setups. Yeah. So like they'd go to the hotels and they'd set up the beach, set up the chairs.
Right. Okay.
Back in the day on Sanibel, you used to be able to rent, sailboat, all sorts of stuff off the beaches, but
that's
can't do that anymore.
Now. Right.
And so they would they set all that stuff up, and then he wanted to bring it back home a little bit more because he was doing a ton of traveling.
Right.
Spend more time with the kids.
You've caused all kinds of problems,
I have,
Josh.
apparently. And so they brought it back here. They helped, helped bring Port Sanibel Marina kind of like up to snuff. Was the operations manager for there for a long time. And then we started doing the boat tours in '88. And we were going to do sunset tours and fishing trips.
Right. So explain, you mentioned Port Sanibel. So tell everybody, so your shop is at Tahitian Gardens, but where do you actually run the boat tours out of?
Yeah, so the boat tours leave at Port Sanibel Marina, which is on the Fort Myers side of the bridge. It's about a mile before the toll booth.
Which you would think it would be on Sanibel.
You would.
It's called Port Sanibel.
Yeah,
but
Port of Sanibel.
Right.
And we answer that question about
5 billion
24 times a day.
Right. Where can we find you on Sanibel?
Right. I use the word mainland a lot.
Yes.
It's on the mainland.
It's true.
Well, the type of boats that you have, it would be pretty tricky to have them anywhere else. They're sort of like 40-foot cats. How big are they? 40?
They're 45 feet, 13-foot beam.
Yeah.
Which they can go into some pretty easy spots. But Sanibel, as you guys know, contrary to popular belief, and even though it's a pretty big island, there's really very few actual like water accesses that aren't private or preserved or something like that. So we've been hanging out on the Fort Myers side.
And it's really not far. It's literally 10
first
minutes
left.
from, yeah.
But you take a trolley.
We do have trolleys during the season.
Okay.
Right now, for instance, during the off season, we just run those for private charters, and so we do a lot of them for wedding receptions and rehearsals, and taking people to and from the dinner and then to the wedding. And then we also during the peak season time, we'll do free pickups in the trolley to the various hotel spots on Sanibel to take them to and from, because as we all know, like traffic gets really tough sometimes.
Yes, so your trolley helps us because it lessens
when
the amount of cars.
When will the trolley start back up this year?
Oh man, well now the trick, like everybody, is just trying to find your drivers.
Oh,
really?
There's a shortage now of drivers. They have to have so if anybody's watching, we're hiring. You got to have a special CDL license as opposed to like if you're
like
just
a truck
driving.
driver.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to pass the test as though you are driving like a semi across the country.
Really? Just to be a trolley driver?
Exactly.
Really?
That's precious cargo.
Yeah, exactly. Precious cargo. Even though it's just over the bridge and back again.
Yeah.
Charlies don't make it much further past that.
Do you ever think about getting your CDL?
Well, my brother has it, and I know he regrets that every day of his life.
Right,
because he's the villain. He's the.
If he's smart, he wouldn't get it.
Somebody called off sick today.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's the bonus of being in a family business. You are the butt of all people calling in sick.
Yeah.
Not the bonus. It's one of the.
Ask Max.
Right.
Ask Max.
He took the trash out today. Didn't you, Max?
Tough. Darn.
Although every now and then, like somebody doesn't show up, and they're like, "Oh, you got to go spend the day on, Cayo Costa or North Captiva," and I'm like, "All right."
Yeah,
that's not so bad.
Yeah. So Josh did the one instead of getting his
accounting
CDL, he got his captain's license. Or is it? Or do you go? Oh no, it's you.
Drive
You
the
go
boat. I'll do the tours.
You do the tours.
So I'll do
gotcha.
I've been doing tours since I was a kid, and so we'll do like the sea life trips. We'll go up on the beaches and stuff like that. But we'll leave the captaining to the captains.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'd probably wreck the boat too much anyway.
So we did a film about Black Skimmer Island.
Yes.
Which is one of the places now. I think we mentioned in that video, but if you look at the video on our YouTube channel, you'll see it's one of our favourite spots.
Mm-hmm.
We're fortunate enough to live on the water, and we actually go there in the evening by boat, and we'll just sit there at sunset, have a glass of wine.
It's amazing.
It's absolutely incredible, and it's the best kept secret apart from these guys. No, they come over and they take tour. You do tour boats over to there, don't you? And
yeah.
it's
So we'll go and we'll
phenomenal.
watch the sunset. We'll see the dolphins. Like it's extremely rare if you don't see any dolphins, like you guys know.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
There's over 300 of them in the bay year round. They don't migrate.
Have you counted all of them?
They do. They count them. They count them by the fin.
Oh,
So
really?
each fin is kind of
Is
like a
it-
fingerprint.
No way.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
But it's definitely like a general term. My estimate is actually more than that.
Yeah.
Just because of how many we see. But it's really rare to see them or not see them.
Yeah.
And then kind of like to cap it off, you're out there for the sunset trip. You see the beautiful sunset over the water, and then you scoot back, and then right as the sun sets, you go to the Black Skimmer Island, and you see just lines of birds on the horizon. Just
Clouds
enormous.
of birds.
It's like
Exactly.
a bird rookery
Yeah.
where they come for nighttime to rest.
I always refer to it as, and not everybody gets this reference, but it's like the Lord of the Rings when, the crows are coming in.
Yeah.
It's a misty cloud on the horizon.
Yeah.
It literally does, and it's all of a
very
sudden
cool.
it'll be sort of really. You'll get to about 30 minutes before sunset, and then it starts. You'll see
Couple
one,
Start
stragglers.
trickling
two,
in.
Yeah.
3, 4, and then as it gets to sunset,
Just
literally
ramps up like
it's
crazy.
just
Right.
it's just like a cloud of birds coming
Yep.
in.
Yeah.
And I think right now they've got on the one long spit of like land on the
Yeah, on
side of
the
it.
it's probably
All the white pelicans in there
west
now.
on
Yes,
the
the
west
white
side of the
pelicans.
island.
yes.
And
The white
yeah,
pelicans just sit there and go crazy. There's
Yeah.
hundreds of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like they're hidden in the trees. They're just sitting right out
Yeah.
on the beach.
Yeah.
It's just
just be aware.
King of the castle.
Definitely go with Adventures in Paradise if you're going to go. If you are going to go by boat, though, be careful. Don't go too close. It's actually a protected area,
This is
so
true.
you can't get. There's
Can't
some
step
white
foot on it.
boys around it. Don't go any
Mhm.
closer than that because you
You-
will get in trouble.
Look, but do not touch.
Exactly.
exactly.
I was gonna say because otherwise they won't keep coming there. One of the reasons they go there is because it's so isolated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Obviously, safety in numbers. So-
And another thing, sorry to interrupt, but
No, no,
another
no.
thing during the day, I've been past it a million times and
Yeah.
not even realised that it was there. Because during the day it looks
It
like
just
any
looks
other
like a little
barrier
island.
island.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just doesn't look any different.
Mhm.
It's not until sunset or sunrise where you see, oh, hold on, there's a lot of interest there.
There's quite a bit. Yeah.
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 Josh, do you have any idea why it's called Black Skimmer Island?
It's named after the bird, the black skimmer bird.
Really?
And
But I heard there's no black skimmers there.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
you usually see those over by like Bunt Beach or
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What is-
not black skimmer.
like by the salt flats. But
Any idea how it got that name?
well, yes. So as legend has it, when they were building the original causeway,
Mhm.
there was like a black skimmer
Colony?
colony,
Yeah.
I guess, with a flock.
Is that the word? Yeah.
I don't know. I should
Doesn't
know.
matter.
And it was where they were going to do the islands, and so they had to essentially destroy that piece. And they're like, okay, we're going to build this island over here, and we're going to call it Black Skimmer, and they're all going to go there because we named it that, right? But as legend has it, they just went somewhere else. A lot of them landed on like a roof of like a supermarket and propped up there.
Yeah.
Um,
back.
Yeah.
That's funny. I always wondered why that was the case.
Right. So
Now, I've seen them around there, but I've never seen them like hanging out in the trees. Like I've seen them, scooping around in the water, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not
never hanging
flocking
out.
in.
No.
Yeah,
No.
That's funny.
It could be one of the most overpopulated bird sanctuaries on it. It's like a little Manhattan of
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
every
it's-
square inch is pelicans or
It's funny because we used to go out back prior to 2004. We would go out to an island. It was harder to get to. It's a little bit further
Ooh, where
in,
is this?
and it's called Bird Island,
Oh, okay.
and that's where they all used to hang out. But
Are you
after
talking about by
Hurricane-
Fort Myers
Beach back in the
Mm-mm.
back?
No, it's like if you're a Black Skimmer, you can see it.
Oh.
Okay.
It's just a little bit further towards like Matlacha.
Mhm.
And after Hurricane Charlie, it destroyed the island. Not destroyed it, but like ripped all the bunch of the branches
Mangroves,
out, the
right.
mangroves. So they basically had to find another spot, and this is where they landed.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Ba-dum-bum.
Bum, bum.
Yeah.
So
It is-
Bird Island
it is
has
quite a
no
spectacle.
birds.
And Black Skimmer has
no black
No
skimmers.
black skimmers.
Right.
But lots of birds.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
So you do the sunset tours. You do what are the other?
Sure. So we've got the sunset tours. We've got the regular dolphin trips during the
Which
day.
Max, you have some pictures, don't you? That we can
Pop a couple
bring.
up there.
That pop some up there that Josh sent so we could show.
One of my favorites is it's called the Shelling and Lunch Trip, and it's kind of like it's like your little miniature vacation inside of your vacation. So you get to go, we take you up to North Cap. Sometimes we go to the southern tip of KO, and we'll bring chairs and umbrellas. It's fully narrated by the naturalist or the mate on board. And then we'll hang out at these really cool beaches. Good spot for shelling because it's a lot less like picked over.
Mhm, right.
And then after that, we'll get back on the boat and we go over to Mainstays Restaurant, which
Okay.
is formerly Barnacles.
Barnacles.
Yeah.
Have lunch there, and then usually on the way back, get a good chance to see dolphins. So
We were in Mainstay. Max and I were up at USEPA a couple of weeks ago, and we stopped at Mainstay.
yeah,
Right.
It's
a good
really,
spot.
it's really come along, isn't
It's definitely come along.
Yeah.
I remember like in the past, we love barnacles and everything. But
yeah,
you
not
know,
to
it would
disrespect Barnacles. That was fantastic, but definitely
it's a
the
step up
food
for
is
sure.
definitely a step
Yeah.
up, and it's
The food and like being able to get food,
Right.
in a reasonable amount of time.
yeah,
is
and there's
a
a
big deal.
cool little bar there. A lot of the fishing chart
Right.
guys will take their guests there, so it's definitely
Mhm.
worth a look.
Yeah,
yeah,
highly
for sure.
recommend.
Here's one of the boats, an example of one of the boats you go out on.
So
Yeah.
Max is just showing a boat.
Yeah.
It's they're about 45-foot
that?
long catamaran with twin outboards on them, super stable,
Yep.
fast.
They have the yellow banner around it. So is
Yeah,
that what
that's
yours
kind of our thing. We've always
Right.
been in love with like the color
yellow.
so we have like the yellow umbrellas when they first started the company, and all the chairs were yellow. And
Right.
we just kind of like kept it
that
going.
theme.
Yeah,
yeah,
and so,
yeah.
it's my dad's
Dolphins.
favorite color. So here we go.
Who makes those boats?
Corinthian.
Corinthian.
Yeah, and they're out of Tarpon Springs.
Oh, really? They're
Yeah,
Florida
so-
boats. Yeah.
Pretty
How many
close.
how many boats do you have now?
5.
5.
Yeah, started out with 1. Now we're up to 5.
Wow.
Yeah, and the latest one was kind of fun. We did we got it this summer, and my brother Noah decided to go get it, and so he went up to it was up in Pensacola, which is far
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
a boat
Right.
and a
Yeah.
tour
Oh,
boat.
we had to.
Oh,
And
and,
so he
it's
went
not
up
something you
there.
can really put on a
Right.
trailer, is it?
Right. And so he went up there, and he's like, I'm going to bring the family. So he brought the family. And so every day we would get videos and pictures and
cool.
stuff, and we kind of like followed
The
them on the
journey.
map. And everybody was super jealous.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they all wanted to go.
how do you- Oh, because
Yeah.
that you don't have your captain's
Right.
license. There you go.
No, I
That's
sure don't,
easy.
but I'd be a great mate on the boat. But yeah, so it was really neat because like you could find like all these like oddball towns especially when you get kind of like the armpit of
Yeah. Yes.
Florida.
Because
you know?
you sort of
There's, like,
circumnavigate.
nothing there.
You've got the Swanee area, and for those of you who are not aware, Florida is actually a huge state. Max was at FSU, and from here it's about a 6 hour drive, and where you're talking
Yep.
about even further.
Like
Is
9?
Yeah, you're probably
Yeah.
about so.
A little bit further, and
Yeah.
then they would stop at like tiny little islands, and but the scariest part is for fuel when you're going through that little the crook the bend in Florida.
The armpit.
Yeah, the
Yeah, you
armpit.
said it.
I didn't want to say that again.
You said it again. That's it.
No offense.
Sorry to the
to
people in the
people.
Swanee
Clearly
area.
an
We
armpit.
don't- No offense, mate.
Panhandle.
But it's mostly like
panhandle.
preserve, and so they had to like go out into the Gulf, and so they had to
Cut
do
the
the
corner off.
big crossing. So you lose all cell phone reception,
Ooh.
and that was we're like,
It was
"Hey,
an
call us as soon as
adventure."
you get across.
How far was that? How far of a run did they do? in
Oh
one?
man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I should.
We're gonna
I
have to
should
have your
know.
brother on.
You should.
It's funny because
Yeah.
all the Gulf towns between Pensacola and Tampa or a little bit farther north are super rural. Like,
Very.
like
Yeah.
nowhere you would never
Right.
go unless you were trying to
75
go
sort
there.
of gets quite far away from there. We used to go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, everything's fried. All
Yes.
your food is
Yeah.
fried
Yeah,
up
all the
that
food
way,
is
too.
super
That's
southern.
all barbecued. Yes.
Like it's
Yeah.
like if you go to Tallahassee and you go south of there, it's nowheresville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And everywhere in between that in the armpit is
Mhm.
the same way.
The panhandle.
Which
Max
is
was
what's
No,
on.
the panhandle's the whole left side. We're talking
Right.
about between the panhandle and the
Can we
the
say
pan.
armpit one more time,
No.
please?
I think that's enough armpitting.
Yeah,
Oh
we used
my
to go
God.
up to a place called Bell in Florida, and that's probably
Almost
you
like
head
Swanee.
by the Swanee, and you head west off of 75 for about over an hour, just to
Yeah.
get there, going west. So it's really remote, really rural.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool part of the world as well. A lot of
Yeah.
springs and nature and stuff like that.
Mhm.
A lot of caves.
So then
cabins.
you have another Adventures in Paradise too.
We do.
Where's that one located?
So we've got the one at Port Sanibel where the boat tours leave from, and then we also have a second location right now over at Fort Myers Beach, right next to Nervous Nellie's in the Snug Harbor Marina.
yeah,
Where do you
Snug
guys
Harbor.
go from there?
We usually go to Sanibel.
Which makes sense because people are staying on
beautiful,
Fort Myers
'cause
Beach.
you cross from there. You go, you can go see the lighthouse. Go find the dolphins and things like that. But then we also do one from there where we go up to the outer islands, like
really?
North Cap, and so we can launch from there. And really from Fort Myers Beach, that's kind of hard to find. You know, and I
Yeah.
know as a drive, you know, right now it's easy peasy, but during season, like if you're trying to go from Fort Myers Beach to the Sanibel Causeway, like that's
gonna take you a long
super
time.
Well, yeah, a Captiva, forget about it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's hours, you know.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, literally.
So jump on the boat.
So we'll do those, and then I would love for us to get another boat up in St. Petersburg, where we opened up our other store, and time will tell.
So the store in St. Pete is just the clothing store? Or,
Yeah.
okay, just
So it's like the little brother version of the Sanibel store.
gotcha.
And whereabouts in St. Pete?
We're on basically the corner. We're in downtown, so it's not on the beach side. We're on the bay side.
So is that where the new Doc Ford's is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very-
we get our Yucatan shrimp fix over there.
Oh,
all the
there you
time.
go. Perfect. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's on the corner of Beach and Central.
Oh,
So it's like
cool.
right on the waterfront next to the yacht club. I think there's a Naples soap company next to us.
Right.
But that's a super cool town where it's very, very walkable, very, you know, hip and vibing, and, you know, it's growing really fast up there.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Awesome place to be.
Oh, yeah.
So
sure.
how can everybody find your tours? It's on your website. And what's your website?
So the easiest thing to do is you can go to adventuresinparadise.com, and you can find pretty much all the information there. You can always give us a call, and you'll find the number on the website. And
Stop in the store.
Stop in the store at Tahitian Gardens. Always love to chat to folks. And then we're also on Facebook a lot, Facebook and Instagram. So you can check us out there, Sanibel Cruises or Adventures in Paradise. And
Started
that's the easy
TikTok
one.
yet?
no, I did
Come
download
on.
it on my phone to just see what was up and like
Keep up with the
see
times.
what all
You
the
do-
young kids are doing.
You do fishing tours too, right?
So we do like a regular backwater fishing trip, like a
Mhm.
group one. We've pulled back on that lately. And that is largely because there are, like when we first started the trip, you know, there was like a handful of fishing guides in the area.
Right.
Now there's like gazillions.
Really?
Right.
So it's a
Um,
big competitive area.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Whereas, you know, if you can go out on like take people up to the beach or the dolphin watch, you know, that's
Something different.
exactly.
Gotcha.
And they got a big advantage over the boats that you're using because
Oh,
it's
yeah,
going to be
yeah,
way
ours
more
is-
comfortable if
Exactly. Ours is perfect if you have a larger family, especially if you have more than 6.
Right,
Mhm.
because the
They have
boat
to
tours are
max.
right. The captains can only captain for 6. can't they?
Exactly. So if you've got like 8 or 9 and it's a big family and it's their first time, perfect.
you're.
Yeah.
So being a boat nerd, and this is probably totally uninteresting to anybody
Mhm.
else, most of the licenses for fishing guys in this area are called what they call a 6-pack for
Mhm.
6 people. What sort of license do you have for that? Is that under 200 tons, or if you're a captain on?
We usually
total.
aim, we like to start at 100 ton for a license,
Okay.
but we'll accept 50 ton.
Okay.
If
we can
anyone,
do it with 25, but,
25.
but it's like if you have the 25, why didn't you just go for the 100?
Right.
Exactly.
You're
That's
already
what I'm
doing the
thinking.
course.
Might as well.
Right. And
Yeah.
how many people does that cover that captain to have on board? More than you?
We could take up
carry-ons?
to 49
okay.
per boat.
Okay.
And
Very
all,
cool.
all
Not
Coast Guard
50?
certified.
What happened to the?
I don't know.
Is the
That's a
captain the
Coast Guard
50th?
thing.
Oh.
Oh, it's a Coast Guard.
Well, you got the
thing, yeah.
captain and the mate, so technically you have 51.
Mm.
But for passengers, so
Okay.
you got to have a captain and a mate
Interesting.
for that size boat.
Huh.
Wow.
So
Mhm.
talk about. So did you grow up on Sanibel? Did you live
Yeah.
on? So from age what age did you move here?
8 months.
8 months. So
Less than
you've
a
only
year.
known.
Yeah, you got 3. This is why you're so much more knowledgeable about Sanibel, because Max was 6 months when he moved
6
from here.
months.
6 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're
Man.
far more advanced, Josh.
Yes.
No, he's 8 months.
No, he'd be
He'd
8
be-
months.
shoot.
Yeah,
I've been here 2 months
Yeah, I
longer.
got it the wrong way round. That's
Yeah.
simple math.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. I'll take my compliment now.
Yeah, you better
There
ask
you go.
Max that. There we go.
Did you guys? So tell us your life growing up. You went to Sanibel School.
Oh, it was
Did
awesome.
You,
Yeah.
you have
I mean,
good memories.
And you probably know, growing up on the island, you have no clue how cool it is.
Right.
Totally.
You're just like, oh man, I can't wait to leave.
No,
Live
none
in
of
a
the kids want to
bubble.
go to the beach. They don't want to
Right.
do. Yeah.
There's nothing to do here, but
Right.
Yeah.
no, that's all hogwash. No, it's great. The whole island is your playground. You can go to the beach. You bike around everywhere. That's
Mhm.
another thing that I think a lot of people don't like pick up on, or is sort of a selling point for Sanibel is it's ultra bikeable.
Right. And
Um,
safe for.
Yeah, super bikeable, very safe.
Great for
So
kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
great for kids, and that's one of the things that why we wanted to move back here to the island was we're gonna raise a family, and this is the best spot.
And you're in the thick of it now. How old are the kids?
Currently 6, 4, and almost 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
It gives me sweats just thinking about it.
Many years of grooming. No, it's a lot of fun. It's the most exhausting fun you'll ever have.
Right.
So.
And your kids are, well, I guess the 6-year-old is at the Sanibel school.
Yeah, so he's in first grade.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Wells.
I was going to say, are any of the teachers still?
Believe it or not, yeah.
They're like, oh no, another Stewart.
So there's one, right? Well, my brother's got 3 kids in there right now. And the oldest brother, we're trying to pull him back from Germany so he can have, so we'll just take over the whole. No, but Miss Sanders is still there, and then Mrs. Wampus.
Oh yeah, Max had Mrs. Wampus.
Yep, I did.
She's my fave.
Yeah, Max really liked Mrs. Wampus too.
Yeah.
So
that's funny.
We
sea dragons. Is that it? Sea dragons?
I think it's
seahorses.
We were just the seahorses.
Yeah, seahorses.
And when I went there, it was just K through 5.
Really?
There was no.
I was through 8th
middle
grade,
school.
I think, when I was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then they all wanted to get off into the mainland. They go from a school of 200 kids to
2,000.
It is a shock to the system because the high schools around here are huge.
They are.
A lot of the kids end up going to Varro, which isn't big, but still big, much bigger than Sanibel when there's 40 people in a class.
Yeah. Or there's 2
grade?
classes,
Easily.
2 of each grade, I think.
Yeah.
So
So like
like
20 people in each class.
If that.
That's tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. When I got to regular school in Fort Myers, I was like, this is a whole new world.
Yeah. It's a whole new. No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're singers too.
We're gonna have to sing
now we
along with
found-
Josh.
Well, you got the mics here.
That's one's recording studio.
So
Right.
if somebody was going to come to Adventures in Paradise, what would you say? Like, say they could only do one tour. What would be the one that you would recommend? What would you say? Like, if you're going to take something away from boating on the islands,
Sure.
What would you say?
I would highly recommend the Shelling and Lunch Cruise. It's like your all day experience, but you still got part of your day left. We take you to a couple different locations, so you get to see a lot of things that you can't normally get to see. Especially if because you can only get there by boat.
Mm-hmm.
But if a lot of people don't want to be out there all day, definitely the Sunset Dolphin Cruise.
Yeah,
because it's just gorgeous.
And
Where do you go shelling?
Usually we go up to North Cap and the
Which is
southern
awesome
tip of
shelling.
KO.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome shelling up
Do
there.
you stop on the beach side, or do they get the shuttle over?
It depends on, for KO Costa, the boats pull right up to the beach.
Oh, do they? Okay.
And then sometimes it's tricky if you're doing North Cap, because if you have a big swell, then you might.
It does get a little wavy.
It
does get a little wavy in there.
You got to get creative.
Yeah.
But aside from that, the boats are so functional. You can do anything in them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
here they are. Is this on KO Costa?
Yep.
You guys are right on the water.
That's actually on North Cap.
That's a whole lot of shells.
Yeah.
too, as you can see.
Right.
So if you're
We
trying to
just
go
had that
shelling,
cold
that's the
front,
place
so
to
I
go.
know,
Yeah, it's just Max is just showing a picture of a setup on the beach there. Absolutely, with the yellow umbrella.
It's the yellow umbrella. We
There
got those for sure.
This one's a shelling Easter bunny.
Oh, yeah. So
Do you do holiday tours?
do
We
shows.
do.
So
we
tell us
actually
about
do.
those.
Well, we do the 2 most popular ones are, I guess 3. So there's the 4th of July fireworks one, which is crazy popular. We've been doing that one forever. But Audrey and I got together and we started doing the 2, Santa's Christmas cruise and then the Easter Bunny cruise. And both of those we go out to Picnic Island. For the Santa cruise, we go out there, we call Santa up from the North Pole.
Fantastic.
He's generous enough to come down and hang out with us for the morning before he goes and flies out. And we set it up there, and the kids come out and they can take their photos. We've got little games set up while we're out there. And then we also get to go and take a look at some dolphins too. So it's like
listen up,
action.
everyone. If you're local, what a trip to do.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
locals, you know.
it's,
so.
I mean, you
the
can
real
go
Santa.
to,
Kids love it.
Bass Pro and get a photo, but this is way cool.
Way
Way
cool.
cooler.
Yeah,
Way
on
cooler.
the beach.
And
Yeah.
then where do you find the Easter Bunny at? Where do you take the other kids to see the Easter Bunny?
So we also go to, Picnic Island actually turns into Easter Bunny
Easterland.
Oh,
Island.
it does?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one day a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Your Easter bunny's there.
Did you ever find the man-sized hole where the Easter Bunny
lives?
lives?
Right? Yeah, exactly. No, he just takes a boat over.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes he paddle boards.
Do you do you hide eggs out there, or
We thousands of them.
Really?
It's insane.
really? So you go out there the day before and hide them, or
No,
or the morning
no, we
before?
go out there.
Before.
We get bright and early, and we'll go out there and we, with the Easter Bunny,
Right.
Yes.
put out thousands of eggs, and then the boats will come in periodically, and then we do the big Easter egg hunt. The Easter Bunny obviously makes an appearance, gets to hang out. You get to take your photo with him on the beach.
Yeah.
And both of those trips, we always pray for cooler weather.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I was just about to say the Easter Bunny might be sweating his Easter Bunny nuts off here.
Uh-oh. I think that's the answer. I asked if he'd ever been the Easter Bunny.
What?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
The Easter Bunny.
He might have met him because he wouldn't be him because there is a real Easter Bunny.
Right.
But he may or may
But
not
Josh
have been
just
in
goes
Harry's.
missing when the Easter Bunny is there.
Yeah, I'm there for the setup, and then I hang out in the woods.
Right.
That's funny. That's awesome. Well, that sounds like something everybody would have fun doing. I
Yeah.
think.
I think that'd be awesome.
I want to go.
I would have loved that if I was a kid.
Yeah, for
I'd
sure.
probably still love it.
I think you
Right.
would.
Okay, so anything else about the island that you want to share with visitors?
I guess do you
potential
ask
visitors?
your question
So we
while
always
sorry.
ask if you had a friend coming to visit the island, what is your one recommendation they need to do? And it can't be going to Adventures in Paradise.
A boat tour. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, it could be on a
anything.
boat trip.
It could be on a boat trip.
I mean,
Well,
there's
boat
no
trip-
wrong answer.
I was going to say, doing a boat trip that's like a whole different experience.
Mhm.
You know, you can, stay on the island, but, it's part of the fun. 50% of the fun is easily just going out on a boat.
I
Agree.
100% agree. And even though you have a business on the water,
Right.
that would be my first choice.
Yeah.
You see a different side to the islands, a different side
true.
to the surrounding islands that only a small percentage of the people
Right.
get to see.
Like
So,
your fun level starts here, and then when you get on a boat, it goes.
yeah, 100%. 100%, yeah.
Sound
All
effect.
All
right.
right. Boating it is.
Boating it is.
Boating it is, yeah.
Biking's
I
fun
can't-
too, though.
Biking's awesome.
Yeah, I
We
love
get that,
biking.
yeah. I mean, you
So,
can't.
so when you do the tours, they do the tours. They're knowledgeable about shelling, and I mean, on the general tours, they're going to give a narrated tour.
Oh,
or-
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the things we always look for in like our crew is one, we use a lot of crew from FGCU.
Oh, okay.
So that are usually like degree seeking, whether it's marine science, marine biology. But we look for folks that just love to be out on the water.
yeah.
And that's like the number one thing, because tying things up and like, that all that stuff can be trained. But,
Right.
if you love being out on the water,
Mhm.
that sort of thing's infectious. And, everybody else is going to be happy if they're happy. But we've actually hired, folks like, for instance, shout out to Bianca. She actually has photos of when she was a little kid and she would go out on our sea life encounter trip, where we go and hang out with the sea life. And next thing you know, she walks into the store one day as an adult going to FGCU and was like, oh, looking for a job. And so she got a job on the boat doing that same thing. And now she's actually, I want to say she's like the director of events for Keep Florida Beautiful. So like for the whole state.
Oh, wow. That's
and,
cool.
It's just really cool to see like that whole
Progression.
progression.
timeline.
Yeah,
that's freaking awesome.
fantastic. And we had one of our customers with the photography business that did the same thing, came down, and she took a biology major and ended up with the Sanibel
Sea
Sea
School.
School,
Nice.
and is
Yeah.
now back at full-time at the local university,
FGC.
FGCU.
Working for the Sea School, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's cool. It's a big epicenter for marine biology.
Oh, for sure.
People like Sanibel for some reason.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's one of the things that, kind of one of our missions on the boats is to get people excited and, about not only the environment, but what's under the water, what the water is. And, because if you have more people knowing about it, those issues are going to become a lot more important,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
because
Become stewards of
And
the
Exactly.
shout
environment.
out, that's a perfect opportunity to give a shout out to our good friends, the Captains for Clean Water.
oh, yeah.
Make sure you check that charity out. It's a fantastic charity,
Mhm.
and they do a lot of work in this area to keep the waters the way they are, and hopefully get them even better in the future.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Max, you got any
I think
questions
it's
for
trivia
us?
time.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I
ready,
think
Trey?
so.
Oh, I'm ready.
Here you
All
go,
right, Josh. I think
Do I get to
this.
write it down?
Yeah, you got to write it down because
You
we
got-
have
I
some
think
cheaters
we have
in
some
the.
cheaters. Watch your eyes. We need to get blinkers on. Keep your-
You need some
eyes
blinders.
Really covered there, Josh.
Some blinders
Yeah. She's
All
been
right.
caught in camera many times
Stop.
in slow mo.
in slow mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Josh. This
All
one
right.
might be a layup for you.
Oh.
No fair.
Hopefully. Adventures in Paradise has been owned and operated by the Stewart family since what year?
That's a little unfair, Max, isn't it?
Is
Josh
it?
doesn't know. I don't
No,
know.
I know.
Do you know?
It's me -1.
That's funny. Mom, Dad, you got this?
How old are you, Josh?
It's the first. It's the first thing you see when you visit their website.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
Is it? I'm going to say, he did say, didn't he?
I think he did say. Did he?
yeah.
I don't know.
I
Did
don't
I?
know. I don't know.
think I did.
I don't think you did.
No.
I don't.
Alright.
I think I
was gonna
said
say.
when we came down here, which was same year,
Okay, I got it.
I think.
Did you need the
At the
actual date or
outside
just
back.
the
Do
amount
we
of
need
years?
the-
Did you want the
month
actual
and
date? Yeah,
day.
Dad, give us the month and day if you want.
Okay, got it.
All right, go ahead, Dad. Tell us what you got. Mom, what are you looking at?
Yeah, it's just
I've
see what we got to put up with here, Josh. See what we
I've
got
written.
straight over. It's actually 37 days, 37 years, 4 months and 2 days and 7 hours.
I put 1989.
What the hell are you talking about, Dad?
I think he
What?
was
You
looking for
said
a
when-
year.
How,
Yeah,
you're
what
looking for
year?
a year? Well, you can
Yeah.
backtrack it. It was
What is it,
1984, of course.
86.
86.
86.
And actually, 37 is 85, not 84.
And 37 is actually 94.
Shit.
no, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's
No.
not.
No,
No, that'd
Because
be
you're
84.
22 and you were born in
99,
99.
98.
I'm 32.
No, you're not. You look good for 32.
All right,
Okay, let's just get it out of the way.
We're not a
What-
math
what
family.
year
It
was
is 1986. Yeah,
That
he
was
said
pretty
it.
close.
Josh said it.
Come on.
Yeah, no.
What'd you
it's
have?
okay. Just gotta flip
What'd you
it.
have, Mom?
89.
89, yeah,
Well, I was closer.
No, you. Were you?
Yeah.
You didn't even write the year, so you don't even
Well,
get.
37 years ago,
should
you can't
deserve
do
a-
the math.
You deserve a negative point for answering the question wrong.
All
right.
Number 2.
Here we go. Adventures in Paradise offers.
These are not fair tour questions.
No, they're not. Sorry.
No, this one's fair. Offers fishing excursions, sometimes.
Yep.
Dialed back, right?
Yeah.
Sport fishing blew up on the island of Sanibel in 1885 when William Halsey Wood caught what fish with a rod and reel? Quick answers there.
Everybody knows that. right?
Everybody knows
I
that.
think so.
Should we all say it on 3?
Okay, one,
2, 3.
3. Tarpon.
Tarpon.
I was gonna say puffer fish, but
Tarpon. Tarpon is the answer.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so we've got a 2-1-1 lead for Josh. I might have written the question in his favor, unfortunately.
How much did you pay him, Josh?
And then last question. This is unfair. I'm sorry. Adventures in Paradise offers trolley tours, or they do trolley pickups. They stop at many locations all over the island. How many resorts do they stop at?
oh, geez, I don't know that number.
Yeah, oh, good.
No.
Because I have no
I
clue.
went through and counted your trolley schedule.
Jeez. All right.
I was hoping I wasn't sure if I counted correctly, so I was hoping you might be able to tell me the answer.
It's not gonna be right.
Okay, I got it.
This is bad if you don't get it right, Josh.
Oh, I definitely got it wrong.
All right,
Sorry.
Josh, tell us what you got.
30.
Oh,
30,
I
Mom?
put 10.
I put 24.
Josh wins.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's not right.
He's
It's
not
40,
right.
not right.
43 according to my
43.
count.
All right.
For-
fair enough.
yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous schedule. It's like 1 minute
Yeah.
here, 1 minute there, 1 minute there.
Well, when people book like the sunset trip, not
Mhm.
all of them are going to take the trolley.
Right.
So you'll have like, say, for instance, maybe like 5 or 6 pickups of that whole schedule.
Right.
Oh, so it's
Depends
not,
on where they're staying.
Exactly.
You're right.
Right.
You don't just stop and
Correct. Yeah.
grab
the trolley,
random
a
people
minute
off the street.
First, but yeah, no, it's a little longer to get from one spot than
Yeah.
Right.
But that 43 is, I guess, yeah, like you said, you don't go to all of them every day. So, but
No.
it's just where you offer
yeah,
to be picked up.
They've got a lot of miles on them. I think my dad did the calculation one day, and he said that between the 2 trolleys, they could go to like the moon.
All on Sanibel. All on
Yeah,
Sanibel.
Pretty much.
That's funny.
That's
All right,
awesome.
Josh, ring the
Get to ring
bell,
the bell.
for the winner. The winner's bell.
The bells that not
Nice.
for sale.
Good for you.
And then the Sanibel Please bell you'll find at Adventures in Paradise.
All right, awesome, Josh. Thank you very much for coming in. Just share what's the website of the.
Sure. So we've got the adventuresinparadise.com for the boat tours, and you can link to all the different websites from there.
Okay.
And then for the Sanibel store, it's the Sanibel store.
It's just the Sanibel store.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
How'd you guys
How the
get
hell did you
that?
get that
I don't know. That was
domain name?
That was like 10 years
Been
ago.
been here since 1984.
Yeah.
So,
That's
pre-internet,
a while
you know?
ago.
Yeah.
Adventuresinparadisestore.com.
And then the Facebook page is
Sanibel Cruises.
Sanibel
But if you
Cruise.
search Facebook for Adventures in
In
Paradise,
Paradise.
Okay,
It'll come
so
right
make
up.
sure
And
you
Tune in on Wednesdays.
join it Wednesday nights.
Wednesday.
What time?
8:15.
8:15, and it's
Live.
drinks with Josh.
That's
Yes.
it.
And yeah, so thanks
And
very
next
much.
time you come back, we'll have a drink for you. We didn't know that. We thought you were bringing us drinks.
Oh no, I'm just teasing. I should have.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks very much for coming on. Much appreciated. Quick shout out to our Spencer's? Sponsors. Bailey's General Store, Doc Ford's Rum Bar and Grille, Spoondrift Island Bowls, 3 Crafty Ladies, GatorBites, Tail and Ale, Priscilla's of Sanibel, and how do you pronounce it,
Coco
Laurie?
y Cabana.
Coco y Cabana. I called it Coco y Cabana. I don't know why I highlight the stupidity of myself, but there you go. Here we go. Thanks very much, guys. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Thank you.